No Jordan Pefok either on the roster. ESPN's Jules Lawrence had a conversation with him. Very interesting points on not making the U.S. men's national team 2022 World Cup roster. Quote, I would not put the blame on the coach or a player. The blame is on me. I was responsible for not being called up. It was my fault. I should have scored more. I should have been the player that the coach would have put first in his squad. I told myself that I could not put the blame on someone else. I had my chance. I played for the national team, and I didn't do enough when I played. So that's it. He kept going by saying, well, that's part of the quote that he gave Jules Lawrence on an interview. You can, by the way, you can read the entire interview on ESPN.com, on the website. What do you make of these comments?
There's nothing to make. He's absolutely right. And it sucks because if there was one player who was consistent in their goal-scoring form, consistent in how much of a threat they were in front of the net for the U.S. men's national team in this pool, it was Jordan Pefok. It didn't matter where he was playing, who was playing against, whether it was league play or whether it was Europa League versus Manchester United. He was scoring goals. He was that guy. He was consistent until he wasn't. And he wasn't at the worst possible time. The lead up to the World Cup, when he went with Union Berlin, he got cold.
Yep.
And it's the worst possible thing because most people, most fans still hold the missed sitter against Mexico in Estadio Azteca against them. And that's a terrible thing because I think this player is much more than that. But he's right. He's got nobody to blame here but himself, and it's terrible because he was that guy.
If anything, the fact that he's putting this quote out for the world to see speaks highly of him, right?
Self-awareness is...
It's not easy, but it starts there. It starts there. Not putting the blame on Greg Berhalter, not putting the blame on his situation, his club, how things probably didn't go the way he expected things to go. And if this is the way you want to present yourself for the rest of the U.S. men's national team and environment to see, I think that's the right way to do it. Now, for strikers, for forwards, there's only one way in which you can go back and play for the national team. And you know this very well. And it's just scoring consistently.
Yeah, I'll use any 9 you can think of who's just a goal scorer. Like, what does he do for you? The only way to defend yourself, you know, is not like, hey, I do this, I hold the ball well, I combine. Yeah. No. Just look at the goals, look at the stats. That's what you do. Look at the stats. For everybody who's ever said Chicharito is terrible, is tanker, this and that, because there's a lot of those people out there, should have just said, look at all the goals I scored at Manchester United.
Easy.
Look at all the goals I scored at Real Madrid.
That's it.
Look what I did at Leverkusen. Look what I did here. That's all you need to do if you're a 9. Look at the goals. And he had that to his defense until he did it.
Yeah, but you got to appreciate the honesty, the way he presents himself.
The self-awareness.
And he's still, I mean, he has a future in the national team.
A lot of good goal scorers right now.
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.